Growing up, Sentilla Bubb didn't always see her Afro-Indigenous identity reflected in the classroom. Now, as a mother and teacher, she's trying to change that. During Black History Month and Indigenous Storytelling Month, that work feels even more important. She's making sure her students learn about the history and culture she always felt was missing. Sentilla joins us now. Good morning.
Morning. How's it going?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So, Sentilla, how has your heritage influenced your approach to education?
For me, it instills cultural pride, responsibility. It helps me uplift my students, make connection with my students from multiple different marginalized backgrounds. And it just is important to have, that representation in the curriculum and in the classroom. And yeah, I think that just having an inclusive space is super important. So my heritage influences my approach to education in just all those ways. And I think it's impactful and empowering for them.
With it being Indigenous Storytelling Month and Black History Month, that's quite the month for you, I'd imagine, in the classroom. How do you reflect this not only during this month but all through the year?
For me, it's teaching the Saskatchewan curriculum. It's super important for me to bridge my two identities and ensure that I'm teaching authentically and accurately to my students, and just that they have the cultural experiences and the experiences. If I don't know something, it's important for me to, seek that information in the communities and just risk take.
What's it like for you seeing the students, engaged in your lessons when you are talking about your heritage or your culture or something, in this month of Black History Month and, as I mentioned, Indigenous Storytelling Month?
This year has been super unique for me, and I've seen such an amazing group of people, group of students, individuals working so hard to learn and investigate these two things. And it's been a super rewarding moment that they want to learn about Canada's true history.
When it comes to being an Afro-Indigenous educator, are there any challenges that you face? Anything unique that you've come across in your years?
Yes, I definitely have faced, quite a bit of things, but I'm really happy to be supported this year. I feel really seen by Regina Public Schools where I work, and I feel a sense of support from everyone behind me, and I'm really excited to see where this takes me because diversity inclusion is number one in my classroom and in education for me.
What do you think schools could do to support and uplift Black students and reflect their cultural experiences?
I think the biggest thing would be to just take risks and try things. For me, I've had failed lessons, but I've, got back up and seen how I can adapt those things. I'm super excited to see other people take risks and try things, even if it's uncomfortable. So for me, it's things haven't always been easy, but I've had to kind of dive into there and try new things.
Have you found it's become easier to get stories and lessons to the students in recent years, where this becomes more sort of front of mind? It's being something that's more in the consciousness publicly than it maybe has been in the past. I'm speaking of Black History Month, Canadian heritage. We talk about it during this month, but all through the year. Is it something that's become, because it's more front and center than maybe it has been in the past, that's become a little bit easier to connect with the students on this?
Yeah, I think kids are a little bit with like social media platforms and stuff. I feel like, people in general are super they are super understanding of things, and even for me, like it's not kind of a 1 month kind of that's it. It's, every month, every day, we're always infusing Black and Indigenous cultures into our classroom. And for me, I teach from my heart. So I teach from, where my own lived experiences and stuff. And so that's really important in my teaching philosophy. And of course, connecting that to the Saskatchewan curriculum is really important.
How is it different from when you grew up in the school system?
I grew up in actually north end of Winnipeg. A little, things have been really different. I really rarely ever see myself represented in positions of authority and power, and so I was very much not really seen. At least I didn't feel seen. And it took a lot of me to kind of navigate my way through my years growing up. And I actually came to Regina to Saskatchewan's Urban Native Teacher Education Program, and that was a huge bridge to gaining identity and being, prideful of that.
Sentilla, what would your message be to other educators who are trying to infuse more Black history, more Indigenous culture into their teaching, and they're maybe struggling or trying to figure out a way to get into that? So what are some suggestions you'd have?
I think I think it's important for us to teach it even when it's uncomfortable. It's important for us to show that appreciation and understand the true history here in Canada, and really thinking of the relationship between Indigenous people, and Black people, and just foster that deeper understanding of diverse experiences here in Canada.